9 people boarded a helicopter on a Sunday morning in January 2020, and none came back. A basketball icon, his daughter, and 7 others crashed into a California hillside. But the final moments before impact tell a story the world still misunderstands. It's a Sunday morning, January 26, 2020. Los Angeles is wrapped in a low, heavy fog, the kind that settles over the hills and refuses to move. A Sikorsky S-76B lifts off from John Wayne Airport in Orange County just after 9 a.m. On board is one of the most recognizable human beings on the planet, Kobe Bryant, 41 years old, retired NBA legend, father of 4 daughters, and that morning, he's just a dad, taking his 13-year-old girl, Gianna, to her basketball game. Bryant and his daughter, along with the other passengers, were headed to Gianna's basketball game at his Mamba Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks, California. They weren't flying solo either. Among the others on board were baseball coach John Altobelli, his wife Carrie, and daughter Alyssa, Sarah Chester, and her daughter Peyton, basketball coach Christina Mauser, and pilot Ara Zobayan. Bryant often took helicopters to avoid Los Angeles' notorious traffic. It was routine. He'd done it hundreds of times. The helicopter was his way of threading through the chaos of LA, the same city where he built his entire legend. But that morning was different. The last transmission from the pilot mentioned he was going to take the aircraft above the clouds. That detail matters. Hold on to it. Authorities received a call at 9:47 a.m. PT to respond to reports of a helicopter crash and a brush fire. The wreckage was found on a hillside in Calabasas, just outside Los Angeles. The helicopter had gone down in hilly terrain amid foggy conditions. A minute after that last transmission, the helicopter plunged more than 10 feet into a hillside. 9 people, 8 plus the pilot, were on the aircraft's manifest. There were no survivors. The news broke first on TMZ. Within minutes, it was everywhere. Social media froze. NBA arenas across the country went quiet. Players who had been warming up for games stood still. Reporters who covered sports for decades described it as a feeling they'd never had before. Not the kind of grief reserved for someone you've watched play basketball, but something more personal, more gut-wrenching. Bryant's death sent shockwaves through the American sporting world. But it wasn't just America. The tributes came from every continent, every sport, every corner of the internet. People who'd never watched an NBA game in their lives knew his name. Shaquille O'Neal, Bryant's longtime teammate, said he had no words to express the pain he felt at Bryant's death. Michael Jordan, the one player whose name was always placed alongside Kobe's in any GOAT debate, released a statement calling him one of the greats. LeBron James, who had overtaken Kobe on the all-time scoring list just 2 days before the crash, posted in a state of visible, raw grief. He'd spoken to Kobe just days earlier. He said he'd never forget that conversation. The Grammy Awards ceremony that evening held at the Staples Center. His home arena became one of the first of countless tributes to him and his daughter. Alicia Keys opened the show by talking about Kobe. The audience sat in a silence that felt bigger than the room. The Los Angeles airport, the Empire State Building, and the Burj Khalifa were all lit in purple and yellow, the Lakers' colors in tribute to Bryant. There was a particular cruelty to the timing. Kobe was 41. He'd been retired for 4 years. He had walked away from the game on his own terms. On a night where he scored 60 points in his final game, in a send-off that seemed scripted for a Hollywood movie, he was supposed to get the second act. The coaching, the mentorship, the fatherhood, all of it. And then a Sunday morning fog took it all away. To understand what the world lost that morning, you have to go back. All the way back when Kobe Bryant arrived in the NBA as a draft pick in 1996. He already seemed like a mammoth figure, the 17-year-old son of former player Joe Jellybean Bryant, inducted into the world's biggest basketball league straight from high school, brought to the iconic Los Angeles Lakers through the personal intervention of its legendary general manager Jerry West. He was a teenager, raw, hungry, and from day one, operating without a ceiling. The young Kobe talked a big game. He wanted to be bigger than Michael Jordan, score more points than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, win more titles than Bill Russell. That kind of talk from a 17-year-old kid would get laughed out of most locker rooms, but Kobe backed it up. He teamed up with Shaquille O'Neal, and together they built something the league hadn't seen in years. With O'Neal, he built arguably the most lethal two-man attack force team sport has ever seen, as they won 3 back-to-back titles from 2000 to 2002. 3 championships in 3 years. Kobe was still in his early 20s, but even in the middle of all that winning, the relationship between the two of them cracked. Their personalities were fundamentally different. O'Neal was dominant by physical force, by sheer unmovable mass. Kobe was obsessive, relentless. He'd be in the gym before the sun came up and stay until long after everyone else had left. O'Neal didn't always match that energy. The tension between them became one of the most documented rifts in NBA history. After O'Neal was traded to the Miami Heat following the 2003-04 season, Bryant became the cornerstone of the Lakers franchise. And then Kobe had to carry it alone, which turned out to be exactly what he needed. Bryant's scoring records include the highest single-game total by a guard, 81 points scored against the Toronto Raptors on January 22, 2006, a mark that stands as the second highest single-game scoring total in NBA history, 81 points, in one game against professional basketball players. That number still doesn't fully register when you say it out loud. Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game is a relic from a different era of basketball. Kobe's 81 happened in the modern game, on national television, with the world watching. Bryant was awarded the regular season's Most Valuable Player award in the 2007-08 season and led his team to the 2008 NBA Finals as the first seed in the Western Conference. And then he did what no one thought was possible without Shaq. He won 2 more championships back-to-back. After O'Neal's departure, Kobe led the Lakers to 2 more titles, in 2009 and 2010, showcasing his ability to lead a team as the unequivocal star. He was an 18-time All-Star, made the All-NBA First Team 11 times, and was a 2-time scoring champion. His defensive skills were equally commendable, earning him a spot on the All-Defensive First Team 9 times, and off the court, he was becoming something bigger than a basketball player. As a member of the U.S. men's basketball team, Bryant was a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, starting with the 2008 Summer Olympics Redeem Team and following with the 2012 Summer Olympics team. He retired from international competition with the U.S. national team standing at 26-0. Then came the retirement. April 13, 2016, the Staples Center. His final NBA game, he scored 60 points, becoming the oldest player to do so at 37 years and 234 days of age. The arena shook. Kobe walked off the court and just said, "Mamba out." 2 words. The crowd lost its mind. In a show of loyalty rare in professional sport, the National Transportation Safety Board revealed the likely cause. Here's what unfolded in those final, terrifying minutes. The helicopter left John Wayne Airport in Orange County just after 9 a.m., then made a U-turn in the Calabasas area, climbed, and made a steep descent before crashing into a hillside. The fog that morning was heavy. In text messages on the eve of the crash, released by the NTSB, Zobayan wrote that the forecast seemed to be not the best. The next morning, he wrote that the conditions were looking okay. They weren't okay just before the crash. Zobayan told flight controllers he was climbing in the helicopter and had nearly broken through the clouds. But NTSB investigators said that the helicopter was in fact banking and beginning to descend quickly. This is the detail that explains everything and nothing at the same time. Zobayan genuinely believed he was climbing. He thought he was doing the right thing. He was fighting his way up through the clouds, trying to get above them and find clear air. But his body was lying to him. Investigators said they believed Zobayan experienced a spatial disorientation known as the leans, which occurs in the inner ear and causes pilots to believe they are flying aircraft straight and level when they are in fact banking. Disorientation can set in when pilots can't see the sky or landscape. making it harder to judge an aircraft's altitude and acceleration. In thick fog, with no horizon to fix on, a pilot's instruments become the only truth. But when spatial disorientation grips you, even reading the instruments correctly becomes a battle against every instinct your body is screaming at you. The NTSB determined that the probable cause of the crash was Zobayan's decision to continue flight under visual flight rules into instrument meteorological conditions, which resulted in the pilot's spatial disorientation and loss of control. The aircraft had climbed sharply and nearly succeeded in breaking through the fog, when the helicopter made an abrupt left turn and plunged into the grassy oak-studded hills. When it hit the ground, the helicopter was flying at about 184 mph and descending at a rate of more than 40 feet per minute. The impact caused a crater and scattered debris over an area the size of a football field. The victims died immediately, but the NTSB didn't stop at technical failure. They dug into the human element too. In interviews conducted throughout the investigation, federal officials discovered that Bryant and Zobayan had developed a friendship that may have led to his self-induced pressure to please his high-profile client. Zobayan was an experienced pilot who had often flown for Bryant. He had logged more than 200 hours in the Sikorsky 76 helicopter. He wasn't reckless by nature or by record. He was good at his job. But the investigators pointed to something that cuts through the entire aviation industry: the psychological weight of flying for someone you know, someone you're loyal to, someone you'd hate to disappoint. Vice Chairman Bruce Landsberg said, "There is a long history of pilots who try to fulfill the requirements of a star," referencing previous crashes that killed music artists Buddy Holly, Patsy Cline, Aaliyah, and Stevie Ray Vaughan. The pressure to get the client to their destination, even when conditions say stop, is a pattern that predates Kobe by decades, and it keeps killing people. The board found no evidence that Bryant ever pressured the pilot, but the relationship of trust likely made Zobayan feel the need to press on. NTSB Chairman Robert Sumwalt said, "There were opportunities along the way to have reversed the course and prevented this crash by simply landing." That sentence is almost unbearable to read. Simply landing. The nearest airport was minutes away. The decision to turn around, to set down, to wait out the fog. It was all available, and it didn't happen. The crash was the first wound. What came after was the second. In the weeks that followed the accident, something came to light that turned grief into fury for the Bryant family. In the aftermath of the crash, Los Angeles County Sheriff officers and Los Angeles County firefighters allegedly took photos of the accident scene and then shared those photos with colleagues in settings that had nothing to do with investigating the accident. The Sheriff's Department later admitted there was no investigatory reason for deputies to be taking pictures of the victims' remains. Let that sink in. First responders, the people dispatched to a scene of human devastation, took photos of the bodies of Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter, and 7 other people who had just died on a hillside, and then passed those photos around. In one incident, they were publicly shown at a bar. Vanessa Bryant sued Los Angeles County, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and the Los Angeles County Fire Department on October 19, 2020, alleging invasion of privacy. The case became one of the most high-profile civil trials in Los Angeles history, not just because of who was involved, but because of what it represented. The question at the heart of it wasn't about money. It was about dignity, about whether a widow on the worst day of her life could trust the people supposed to protect and serve her family. Kobe Bryant's widow took her lawsuit against the Los Angeles County Sheriffs and Fire Departments to a federal jury, seeking compensation for photos deputies shared of the remains of the NBA star, his daughter, and 7 others killed in the crash. During their trial, both Vanessa and Chris Chester, whose wife Sarah and 13-year-old daughter Peyton were among the 9 people killed, took the stand to testify how they felt upon learning that photos of human remains at the crash site had been distributed amongst first responders. Vanessa testified that she suffered panic attacks. that she lived in terror of the images surfacing publicly of her daughters one day stumbling across them. She wasn't just fighting for herself, she was fighting for Bianca, for Capri, for Natalia, for the right to protect her children from a second, slower version of the same catastrophe. The jury awarded Chester $15 million in damages, and Bryant $16 million, which was later reduced to $15 million due to a clerical error. And then, the county agreed to pay more. Vanessa Bryant reached a settlement of $28.85 million with Los Angeles County over the leaked photos from the helicopter crash scene, where her husband and daughter died. The settlement also resolved all outstanding claims in state court and any future claims by the Bryant children. The couple had 3 other children. Bryant's attorney, Luis Lee, said in a statement, "Today marks the successful culmination of Mrs. Bryant's courageous battle to hold accountable those who engaged in this grotesque conduct. The money never fully closes a wound like that. Vanessa knew it, her lawyers knew it, but the verdict and the settlement were the only mechanism available, the only way to force accountability from the institutions that failed the family. Not once, but twice. Once in the sky, once on the ground, and through all of it, the crash, the investigation, the trial, the settlement, the work continued. In the months and years following his death, Bryant's legacy lived on through the Mamba Sports Academy, where he had worked with younger generations of players, and through the charities and causes he had devoted time to off the court. A 150-pound bronze statue depicting Kobe and Gianna Bryant was revealed at the crash site on January 26, 2022. It was displayed there for one day. There are multiple statues of Bryant's likeness. At Crypto.com Arena, one depicting his reaction to scoring 81 points, and another depicting him and Gianna, seated courtside at a Lakers game. The two are adorned with angel wings. He was 41 years old. He had 4 daughters, a wife, a foundation, a production company, and, by all accounts, a second great chapter fully underway. He had become someone who talked openly about legacy, about mentorship, about what it meant to build something that outlasted your playing days. He had become, in retirement, the figure his playing career always hinted he could be. The fog on that January morning stole all of that. The pilot's decision to press on stole it. The hillside in Calabasas took 9 people who had done nothing wrong. A group of parents, children, coaches, and one legendary basketball player, all on their way to watch girls play basketball on a Sunday. What's left is what Kobe always said mattered more than the trophies: the love of the game, the people you carry it with, and a daughter who never got the chance to show the world what she could do, but whose name is still in the title of everything her family built after she was gone. Kobe Bryant dies in helicopter crash. History.com. Kobe Bryant's death explained. Yahoo Sports. Remembering the 9 victims. NBC, Los Angeles. NTSB reveals probable cause. Fox 11, Los Angeles. NTSB blames spatial disorientation. Vertical Mag. Investigators report Bryant's pilot got disoriented. NBA.com. NTSB determines crash cause. Gwenard and Bozarth Legal. Kobe Bryant crash. Pilot likely disoriented. BBC News. Vanessa Bryant reaches $28.85 million settlement. NBC News. Vanessa Bryant reaches $29 million settlement. CBS Sports. LA County to pay Vanessa Bryant nearly $29 million. CNN. Kobe Bryant photos lawsuit settlement. Justia News. The enduring legacy of Kobe Bryant. Medium. Kobe Bryant by numbers. Olympics.com. Kobe Bryant career achievements. Grokipedia. The life and legacy of Kobe Bryant. Hindustan Times via press reader. 282 trillion, 170 billion, 768,122,654. Kobe Week. NBA.com. https://www.nba.com.